It's incredibly important that the Prince comes to see projects like Armagh Jail. He set up the Prince's Regeneration Trust 15 years ago because he felt passionately about the value of historic buildings which might not be needed for their original purpose. The jail obviously is no longer used as a jail, but which are beautifully built and can really make a contribution to the community.
The regeneration of the jail can mean the regeneration of the city, and so to have the Prince's endorsement is vitally important.
I think it draws to public attention the importance of the project to Armagh. It may draw to the attention of the public the significance of the architecture, I hope it will. And the Prince of Wales is certainly keen on both things. That's the well-being of Armagh and the well-being of good architecture in Armagh. So I think it's part of the story.
I think what makes this project particularly outstanding is the opportunity that it has to make a contribution, obviously, to the broader Northern Ireland agenda, the way in which it can help to bring communities together. What's particularly outstanding about this one is the quality of it and the ability to bring a mix of uses in a very clearly defined space, very closely linked to the town centre, and to really make a serious impact. And we're enormously grateful for organisations like Heritage Lottery who've given us the funding to do the further work, to demonstrate that the project is a good project and can be viable.
I would say we're 2 years away from starting, and that's my experience of similar projects elsewhere. You dream them up really quickly, and then getting them to happen takes some time, and usually twice the amount of time that you're on site building it. And that's the same here. So wherever I do these jobs, it seems to be the pattern. So we'll be on site for 2 years, starting in 2 years' time.
We hope to have a planning application submitted very shortly. There's been a lot of pre-planning work done, so we hope that that application will go through as quickly as possible, and then really it'll be all stations go after that. There still is a funding gap that we have to address, but I think with the Prince's endorsement, with all of us working together, the realisation that we have a really good private developer willing to invest money in this jail in Armagh, I think this project has to happen.
What the Prince's Regeneration Trust is doing is to bring intellectual rigour and the question of quality to these projects. So that's really important. So to have his encouragement and indeed his input and the input of the Trust is really important to us. And the way in which the Trust involves the community, that helps us to do a job which is very time consuming, but we're both sincere about, both my company and the Prince's Regeneration Trust. So his involvement is quite considerable, it's quite profound, and I might say it had a big influence on the way I look at things over probably 30 years. Oxford gave me good experience of a very similar situation, a very similar architecture. And of course, we learnt from that, and I can bring all of that experience to this project, which we will. So it'll be, in my opinion, every bit as good as Oxford, which won lots of prizes. If I can make it so, it'll be better.